Otter has a few new things that they've already announced. The first thing is the VORTEX Pro Monster Cabin. You probably know Otter has had the Monster Lodge out now for, I think it's 2 years, which is the lodge size shelter with two of them connected to make it the Monster Lodge. Well, this year they came out with the Monster Cabin, and this is the VORTEX Pro series, like you see in the picture, which means it's got the full door on it. I really like what Otter did with the full door, and then this year they're coming out with the double of the cabin. So you can kind of see how big it is here. Pretty exciting. I think this is a great one for if you have those big groups, but you don't want the Monster Lodge. This is a little bit smaller, but a really great offering. Next up, this one I'm not sure what to think about, but this is the folding ice scoop from Otter. I'm not a huge fan of the way that it folds, because if you think about the way that you would pick up your scoop, if you're scooping, you're going to pick it up and you're going to bend it backwards to throw the ice. Well, that's the way it folds. So what I'd be worried about, and I haven't used it yet, is picking up your ice slush scoop, bending it backwards to get ready to toss the ice and it snap. I'm not sure 100% if that's going to be a problem. It looks like it's got a push pin in it. See if we can zoom in a little bit, maybe a little. So it does look like it has a push pin, so you'd have to push it in to collapse it down. So maybe that's not going to be an issue at all. I'm not a huge fan of the collapsible ones. I haven't seen a ton of benefit. I tried a couple last year, but for those of you that are interested, this could be the ticket for you. And next up, we've got the mini SIDEKICK. So this is one I will be getting for sure. I'm super excited about it. So for those of you that maybe aren't huge otter shelter guys and gals, and maybe you've got a clam or an Eskimo or a Freybill or any of the other flip overs that are out there, or you're a hub fisherman and you got a bucket. What's nice about this is I think it's about half the size of the normal SIDEKICK. It still fits on a bucket. And the idea here is that you can still use it in all of those shacks. So what's unique about this is it actually clips onto the front of the sled. You can see the way that the spacing is on it. You've got a gap here for the lip of the front of the sled. And then below it, it almost looks like there's a bar behind there that must go underneath it. So that way, when you get, torsion on it, where you have some weight on it, it doesn't want to just collapse down in. It looks like that black part on the back is going to push against the tub so that it stands straight up. This is really cool because one, the current SIDEKICK is about half the size. It's the same width, but it's about half as deep. So if we look at this one, the way that it attaches to the sled is it lays on the front and it goes to the back. That's kind of nice. If you have the Pro Series, great. You have a little extra space. But the nice thing about the shorter one is that it's actually out in front of you. So like if you're in a 1-man or you're in a 2-man that you're using as a 1-man, or you have the bench seat, you can actually still use it. And again, it's universal to go across almost any of the brands that are out there for shacks, clam, Eskimo, you name it. So this is pretty cool. I'm really excited about it. Next up, so this is the sled anchor kit. The new Otter sled anchor kit simply allows any sled or sled shelter to be anchored in high wind conditions. High winds are a factor across the ice belt, as we know, making it a must-have for any diehard portable house angler. So what you can see here is it's 2 sled anchor points, 2 self-tapping, ice anchors included, in a quick release nylon cam buckle straps to secure the sled and shelter. So if we zoom in a little bit, you can see what it is. So it's essentially an eye bolt that's going to go through the back of the sled here. I guess you could put it anywhere on the sled. I guess you're going to have it flipped over, so it'd probably be both out the back. And then you've got their straps and it goes to an ice anchor in the ice. Pretty cool idea to keep it from going around the ice. Obviously, this is universal. You can use this with anything that you got, no matter what shack, because you can just drill a hole through it. So this is a pretty cool idea. I've never really needed this, but some of you maybe have. So this could be a good solution for you. I'm interested to see how many of these they sell. I know of people, especially when you don't have much snow on the ice, this could come in pretty. And then next up, so this was announced today as well, the Sport Sled Hyfax kit. So I'll go to it here in just a second, but I want to kind of give you a little overview of what it is. So they've got the Sport Sled small, medium, and large. They have a kit for each of them. This isn't anything really special. It's just a Hyfax kit. When I first saw it, one of the announcements that I saw, it said like enhanced. So I was like, oh, maybe it's thicker. From what I can tell, it's not special. And in fact, it's only 7/16 inch thick, whereas the Pro is 5/8 thick for their Hyfax. So it's actually a little skinnier. But what I don't know is maybe they didn't have all of the kits before for the sports sleds. So if we go to sled accessories from Otter and we go to see their Hyfax, so they have 3 different Hyfax options. So the one that we just looked at, which is for the sports sled, then they have the shelter Hyfax runner kit and the sled Hyfax runner kit. So if we look at the sled Hyfax runner kit, I was like, oh, maybe they have a different one for the sports sled. They do not. So these are all the pro sleds. So now they've got Hyfax for the pro sleds, which again is 5/8 thick, which is obviously thicker than 7/16 thick. So the pro sleds, they've got thicker Hyfax. And then if we go back and we look at the shelter Hyfax runner kit, what we can see here is that's also 5/8 inch thick. So it seems like, and I think most of the shelters, if not all of them, actually are using pro sleds. So it makes sense that they would use the same or similar is what they're using for the pro sleds. But I guess they made it really easy. Any of the sleds that they sell, it's either a sport or it's a pro, and they have Hyfax options for it. So Otter launched the easy frame release levers. What's great about these is you don't need to buy a new shack. Let me first talk about what it is. So it's a little clip. Really hard to see in these photos. They should have a black background or make sure that they didn't have reflection on this when they took that picture. But this is a good view. Let me blow it up here. So you can see it's got a little thumb. I don't know if that's plastic or rubber. And then it's got a knobby thing on the bottom here. And then you've got the metal clip that bends over and clips in. So how this works is, which I can show you right here, if you have an Otter shack that has the extending poles, you're used to having to push the little buttons in to make it extend up and down. And when you've got weight in it, it's freezing cold out. Sometimes those things get stuck. These are a lifesaver. Clam has had these, and actually Eskimo has a little bit different design, but Clam has had something very similar to these for a couple of years now. Eskimo, I think for a couple of years for sure, at least 1 year, something similar. Otter was the last one you had to push those little buttons in. Now you don't need to. What's great about these is you don't need to buy a new shack. Just slip this in behind the pole, the plastic pole bracket, and then line it up with the little knobby thing that you normally have to push in, and you can push it in. I have an Otter Lodge X-Over, the Pro X-Over that I'm going to get these for. And I cannot wait because that is like one of the biggest pain points that I have with the Otter shacks is that you can't actually get them down sometimes if that little button thing is stuck and it gets frozen. This gives you a lot more leverage, so you're going to be able to do it. I know I overkilled it for such a simple product. It's $20 and it comes in a pack of 8. Okay, so this is $20 for your whole shack. This isn't $20 for 1 or for 2, which typically you see a lot of manufacturers do. It's $20, pack of 8. Super simple thing. If you have an Otter shack back to 2008, they claim that it will work with it. So check these out. I'll have them linked down below as well. Now, there's a couple of videos that I found. The first one is the VORTEX Pro Monster Cabin. Let's see if this works. It should be about a minute long, showing you that the Monster Cabin.
Hey everybody, Joel Nelson here with Otter Outdoors to talk about the new VORTEX Pro Monster Cabin. When you get this thing all folded up and cinched down, it's only a 5-foot bag in length, and that's really important for a lot of reasons. It's going to store easier inside of a small SUV, a light car, and for ice camping, it's wonderful because it's under 70 pounds, so you've got something that's got a great weight to size ratio. You've got 82 square feet inside here, so it's no slouch for having all kinds of room inside when you're ready to go out on the ice. Another great feature of the Monster Cabin is the Thermaltech insulation inside. It's wonderful for keeping you dry because it's going to stay warm and no condensation is going to drip on you. Not to mention there's a full door on the VORTEX Pro Monster Cabin, just like everything else in the VORTEX Pro line. It's great for going all the way to the floor. You zip it open, no tripping hazards, and it's a really high door to be able to walk through comfortably. Whether you're ice camping, whether it's a trip with the family, it's a wonderful new addition to the Otter family. Again, it's the VORTEX Pro Monster Cabin. For more information, go to otteroutdoors.com.
So that's pretty awesome. I'm excited about that. I'm probably going to look into getting one. I haven't totally decided if I'm going to pick one up yet. Let me know in the chat if you guys are looking at getting that. I like that it's not like humongous, but yet if you're doing ice camping, what I really like about it is it's the bigger size. So you could actually fit a cot in here pretty nice. but it's not huge. Like if you're solo ice camping, you don't need the monster lodge. Even me with all my gear, like that's huge. Granted, I would use all the space, just like probably all of us, like we would use the space, space out our holes maybe a little more, but this seems really nice. I like how small and portable it breaks down into 5 feet, I think he said, in that bag. So that's pretty cool. And then mini Sidekick. There's a lot of excitement around this. I have a 30-second video. Let's go ahead and play that now.
The Sidekick Mini is a great organizational tool for ice anglers. What I love about the Sidekick Mini is it actually utilizes that open space out in the fishing area. That way, if you've got to grab a tool, something to drink, a tackle, a bait puck, it's all right there rather than digging back out in the sled. And it fits right on the lip of the sled. This thing also fits on a bucket. So everything's right there. It's a great way to stay organized on the ice.
Awesome. So again, a little video view here. Let me know if you like the videos. I wasn't sure if I was just going to share it on the screen here, or do the videos. Hopefully you guys like that.